Well, welcome to this week. And what a sight. I'm up on the downs walking and a bagpipe player comes along. He stopped and explained to me that he'd been very ill recently with cancer, recovered, and suddenly got it into his mind to play the bagpipes. Now he goes up on the downs and plays the bagpipes. And it's giving him the best of health. Wasn't that such a wonderful sight? There he is walking off down the road towards Eastbourne. Hi, this is Dick speaking again. 4 minutes with Dick out on the downs. And the subject this week is the Last Impresario, Michael White. I had an email from a lovely guy, Charles Collier, I think it was, and he asked me, had I seen a film called The Last Impresario, which was about Michael White, and would I discuss it, would I talk about it? And certainly I'll do that. Fascinating film. You can watch it on YouTube. Oh, it's a bit slopey and hilly here, haven't been this way for a while. It is a bit, ugh. I'm okay. Yeah, it's on YouTube, look it up, Last Impresario, Michael White. Very, very interesting. I mean, he did some sensational stuff in his time. I won't tell you all about it. He was, as I say, the last impresario, the last of the great impresarios. And I knew a lot of them. People like Bernard Delfont. There's a lot of them around still, but they tend to concentrate mainly on huge West End productions, that sort of thing. Where there's millions involved, and where there's millions involved, they tend to make millions. That's the way it works. But he did everything on a shoestring, got a lot of people to invest with him, and he did some amazing work. He specialised in avant-garde stuff, productions that nobody else would touch. But what Charles was on about, and what I was on about, and I'll read you actually my reply to him, if I can get it here. Yeah, because it's well written, I think. I'm a pretty good writer. In my life I've known many like Michael, and I have. Hell-bent on self-destruction, brilliant but impossible. He had so many heart attack, strokes and all that, Michael White. Lovable, but with a streak of frustrating stupidity. I often have to deal with folk like that. In fact, tomorrow, for instance, and I'll talk about that in a second. My problem with such people is their arrogant selfishness. They do not understand or comprehend how much inconvenience, worry and anxiety they cause for others, which is true. Keith Moon, Brian Jones and the Stones, Jet Harris, PJ Proby. There were just a few I've had to deal with through the years. Many girls, Bridie Gallagher, the famous Irish girl, made millions, was total alcoholic and a mess. Ruby Murray, in fact, Bridie, I did part of her life story recently on television. Ruby Murray, another Irish girl, total mess. Kathy Kirby, same. Twinkle, died sadly, ex-girlfriend of mine all those years ago in the 60s, but died sadly a few months ago. Dorothy Squires, who famously was married to Roger Moore, the James Bond guy. I mean, Dorothy was an absolute nightmare. Great talent, but a nightmare, and she was memorable. My thoughts this week have been consumed with what will happen tomorrow. That's what this person I've got to deal with tomorrow. All caused by one person like Michael White. Strangely, they all come to a sticky end in one way or another. What goes round comes round. They lead sad lives, really, and then they die. So if you have a tendency, my dear listener or looker or viewer, if you have a tendency to be a bit of a lunatic, you may think it's great fun, and you may think it's funny, you know, turning up half smashed for a session, or turning up or missing a show, missing a date. You may think it's funny for you, and you may think people forgive you, but honestly, when you're on the receiving end, I've been in situations where I've had a full orchestra, a full huge orchestra, strings and everything, waiting in Aeolian Hall, BBC, during a session, and the others just simply turned up 2 hours late. And that, you know, they probably thought it was funny. Wasn't funny. I was on the receiving end from the producer. So my advice to you really, if you think it's great fun going out and doing all the shots and everything, and then having to be in the studio 10 o'clock the next morning, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go on stage smashed. Bit of advice here. Try it once or twice. I've done it twice in my life, and both times, I mean, the first time I was sacked. I was unceremoniously sacked. Had to go down and bend the knees to get the gig back. If you feel like doing it, do it once or twice to see what it's like. It's horrible. It's a nightmare. If you're a musician, if you're drunk or on drugs, you simply cannot keep time, and that is the truth. So there we are. Try and find that film on Michael White, The Last Impresario. Have a look at it and tell me what you think. Comments down below. This is Cluskey. See you next week. 4 minutes on the net with Deck. I always say 4 minutes on the neck with that. I don't know why I say it. 4 minutes on the net with Deck. The Serious Writers Guild. makehits.com. Bye.